Most doctors won't say this out loud, but losing your erection is not a normal part of aging. It's a warning sign, a signal that something inside your body is slowly shutting down. And if you've gone weeks or even months without a strong, natural morning erection, not from pills, not forced, just your body doing what it was designed to do, then what you're experiencing isn't just physical. It cuts deeper. It affects your confidence, your identity, even the way you show up in your closest relationships. I've sat across from thousands of men over the past 30 years, and I've seen the same look in their eyes. I don't feel like myself anymore. They think it's age. They think it's inevitable. But the truth is, it's not aging. It's decline caused by something silent: reduced blood flow, disrupted sleep, and a critical deficiency most men never even consider. My name is Dr. James, a urologist specializing in men's health for over 3 decades, and what I'm about to share with you may challenge everything you've been told, because there's one simple thing many doctors quietly use before bed, and it has the power to restore what you thought was gone. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening inside your body, starting with what really shuts down your recovery at night and why everything begins there. Part 1. The silent nighttime shutdown. Let me start with something most men completely overlook. The real damage isn't happening during the day. It's happening at night, while you think you're resting. After 60, your body becomes much more sensitive to stress, light, and hormonal imbalance. And as a result, you stop reaching deep, restorative sleep. You may still be in bed for 7 or 8 hours, but your brain never fully shuts down. And without that deep sleep, your body loses its only window to repair blood vessels, calm the prostate, and produce the testosterone that fuels your energy and sexual function. Here's why this matters. Testosterone is not produced evenly throughout the day. Nearly all of it is released during the first few hours of deep sleep. At the same time, your blood vessels rely on this recovery phase to stay flexible and responsive, allowing proper blood flow when you need it most. But if your sleep is shallow or constantly interrupted, especially by nighttime urination, which is often linked to prostate irritation, your entire system begins to break down quietly. You wake up tired, your desire fades, erections become weaker, less reliable, or disappear altogether. I remember a patient named Harold, 68 years old. He told me, "Doc, I still sleep every night, but I don't feel anything anymore. Not energy, not desire, nothing." What he didn't realize was that he was waking up 4 or 5 times a night to urinate. His body never entered deep recovery, and over time, that lack of restoration slowly took away his confidence, and even created distance in his marriage. He thought it was just age catching up to him. It wasn't. And this is the part I want you to really hear. This is not permanent. Your body hasn't forgotten how to function. It's just not getting the conditions it needs to recover. When we helped Harold restore his nighttime routine, reducing light exposure, calming his nervous system, and supporting deeper sleep, his energy began to return within days. Within weeks, he told me something I'll never forget. "I feel like my body came back online." So tonight, start simple. Dim the lights earlier, turn off screens before bed. Give your body a chance to truly shut down and repair, because until you fix what's happening at night, nothing else will fully work. And what I'm about to show you next explains why even men who sleep better still struggle. Because there's another hidden factor silently restricting your performance from within. Part 2. The blood flow problem no one talks about. Let me be very direct with you. If blood can't flow, nothing else matters. You can have desire, you can have the right mindset, but if your circulation is compromised, your body simply cannot respond. And this is one of the most overlooked reasons men over 60 begin to struggle in silence. An erection is not just a sexual response. It's a vascular event. Your blood vessels must relax and expand quickly, allowing a surge of blood to fill the penile tissue. This process depends on a simple but powerful molecule called nitric oxide. Think of it as a signal that tells your blood vessels, "Open up now." But as you age, especially if your body is under stress or lacking key nutrients, your ability to produce nitric oxide drops. Your vessels become stiff, less flexible, slower to respond, and that's when things start to change. At first, it's subtle. Erections take longer. They don't feel as firm. Then you begin to lose them more quickly. Over time, even when the desire is there, the response just isn't. I had a patient, Leonard, 71, who told me something that stuck with me. He said, "Doc, it's like the signal is there, but nothing arrives." That disconnect frustrated him deeply. He started avoiding intimacy, not because he didn't care, but because he didn't want to face that moment of disappointment again. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to. This is not the end of your function, it's a circulation issue. And circulation can be improved. Your blood vessels are still capable of responding, but they need support. They need to become flexible again, and your body needs to relearn how to produce that nitric oxide signal effectively. Start with something simple. Move your body every day, even just a 10-minute walk. Hydrate properly. And reduce sugar intake, because excess sugar damages the inner lining of your blood vessels, making them less responsive. These small changes begin to restore flow. Because once blood flow improves, everything changes. But even if your circulation starts to recover, there's another hidden issue that can still hold you back. Something that quietly blocks your testosterone from doing its job. And that's what we need to talk about next. Part 3. The testosterone trap. Here's something most men never hear. It's not just about how much testosterone you have, it's about how much your body can actually use. And after 60, this is where things quietly start to break down. You might still be producing testosterone, but it becomes locked away, unavailable, almost like having money in the bank that you can't access. Inside your bloodstream, there's a protein that binds to testosterone and makes it inactive. When this binding increases, which often happens with age, poor sleep, and excess body fat, your free testosterone drops. And that's the form your body actually needs. The result? You feel it almost immediately. Your desire fades. Your energy dips. Erections become weaker, slower, less reliable. And over time, that spark you once had just doesn't show up the same way anymore. I remember a patient named Thomas, 66 years old. He came to me frustrated and confused. "Doc, my tests say everything is normal, but I don't feel normal." He had no drive, no motivation, and intimacy with his wife became rare, not because he didn't care, but because his body wouldn't respond. It started affecting how he saw himself. He told me quietly, "I feel like I'm disappearing." That moment stayed with me. But here's what I told him, and what I want you to understand. This is not the end of your masculinity. It's a signal. Your body isn't broken, it's out of balance. And when we worked on restoring his sleep, reducing stress, and supporting his hormone system naturally, things began to shift. Not overnight, but steadily. His energy returned first, then his confidence, and eventually, his function. Start simple. Protect your sleep, keep your body moving, and avoid late-night eating or alcohol, because both disrupt hormone balance more than most men realize. These small adjustments create the conditions your body needs to free up and use testosterone again. Because once your hormones begin to work with you instead of against you, everything feels different. But there's one missing piece that ties all of this together, the one thing most doctors never explain clearly. And it's what we're about to uncover next. Part 4. The vitamin doctors actually take before bed. Now let me show you the piece most men never see coming. It's not a drug, not a hormone, not something complicated. It's something simple, quiet, almost overlooked, and yet it directly affects your sleep, your blood flow, and your testosterone all at once. I'm talking about magnesium, but not in the way you've been told. Magnesium is what I call a reset mineral. It helps your nervous system slow down, allowing your body to shift out of stress mode and into recovery mode. At night, this matters more than anything, because if your brain can't relax, you don't enter deep sleep. And without deep sleep, your body cannot produce testosterone effectively, cannot repair blood vessels, and cannot regulate the prostate. At the same time, magnesium supports the production of nitric oxide, which helps your blood vessels open up and deliver the flow needed for strong, natural erections. When men are low in magnesium, and most men over 60 are, they often don't realize it. They just feel the symptoms: restless sleep, waking up multiple times a night, fatigue that lingers all day, erections that are weaker, less frequent, or gone completely. I had a patient, Samuel, 69. He told me, "I feel tired even after sleeping, and I've stopped expecting anything from my body anymore." That loss of expectation, that quiet resignation, is what concerns me the most. But here's what happened. We didn't start with anything extreme, no aggressive treatments, just restoring what his body was missing. Magnesium, taken at the right time, before bed. Within days, his sleep deepened. Within a week, his energy began to return. And a few weeks later, he came back and said something simple but powerful. "It's happening again. Not forced, not planned, just natural." And that's what I want you to understand. This isn't about adding something artificial. It's about restoring a condition your body needs to function. So tonight, consider this one change. Take magnesium 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Let your body use it when it matters most. Because when you support the system at the right time, everything begins to align. But here's where most men unknowingly sabotage their progress, and the next part may surprise you. Part 5. The biggest mistake most men make. Let me be honest with you. This is where most men unknowingly ruin their own progress. They hear about magnesium, they buy a bottle, they try it for a few days, and then they quit. Not because it doesn't work, but because they were never actually getting the benefit in the first place. The mistake is simple, but costly: choosing the wrong form. Most over-the-counter supplements use a cheap version that your body barely absorbs. So instead of entering your bloodstream and helping your nervous system relax, improving blood flow, and supporting testosterone production, it just passes through your body. And sometimes it even causes discomfort. So men assume, "This isn't for me," and they stop right there. But inside your body, nothing has changed. Blood vessels are still stiff, sleep is still shallow, testosterone is still struggling. The symptoms remain: weak erections, low desire, frequent trips to the bathroom at night, that lingering fatigue you can't shake. It continues because the root problem was never addressed properly. I had a patient, Robert, 73. He told me, "Doc, I tried magnesium before, did nothing. But when I asked him what type he used, it was the cheapest one available." We switched him to a more absorbable form and adjusted when he took it. 2 weeks later, he came back with a completely different tone, more energy, better sleep. And he smiled when he said, "Something's different this time." And that's the point I want you to understand. It's not that your body doesn't respond, it's that it hasn't been given the right support yet. This is not failure. This is misdirection. And once you correct it, things can shift faster than you expect. So here's what you do. Choose a high-quality, easily absorbed form. Take it consistently, and give your body time to rebuild, not just react. Because this is not about forcing results overnight, it's about restoring function from within. And once you do that, you'll begin to notice something important. Small changes. Subtle at first, but they build. Which brings us to the next step. What real recovery actually looks like, and how your body begins to come back online over time. Part 6. The timeline of real recovery. Let me set the expectation clearly. This is not an overnight fix, and that's exactly why most men give up too early. They expect a sudden change, something immediate, something dramatic. But your body doesn't work that way. It rebuilds quietly, step by step. And if you understand that timeline, you won't panic. You'll stay consistent. When you begin restoring what your body has been missing, especially improving sleep, blood flow, and hormone balance, the first changes are subtle. The nervous system starts to calm down. You fall asleep a little easier. You wake up a little less during the night. That's your body shifting out of stress mode, and that alone begins to reduce nighttime urination, easing pressure on the prostate and allowing deeper rest. Then, something interesting happens. Usually within the first week, you may notice the return of a morning erection, not forced, not planned, just natural. That's your circulation responding, Your blood vessels are becoming more flexible again. Nitric oxide signaling is improving, and your body is testing its own function. I remember a patient named Walter, 70. He told me, "Doc, I didn't think much at first, but one morning I noticed something I hadn't felt in years." He paused, then smiled. It was like my body remembered. That moment gave him hope. Not just physically, but emotionally. Because for the first time in a long time, he felt like himself again. Over the next few weeks, things continue to build. Energy improves. Desire comes back slowly. Erections become more consistent, more reliable. This is not artificial stimulation. This is restoration. And once your body reestablishes that pattern, it becomes easier to maintain. So here's my advice. Give it time. Track small changes. Pay attention to your sleep, your energy, your morning signals. These are signs your body is recovering, even if it's not perfect yet, because perfection is not the goal. Progress is. And once you see that progress, something shifts inside you. You begin to trust your body again. But if you really want to accelerate that process, there's one simple daily habit that can make everything work better together. And that's exactly what I want to show you next. Part 7. The daily habit that changes everything. Let me give you something simple, but incredibly powerful. Because sometimes it's not about adding more, it's about doing one small thing consistently, at the right time. And this one habit, when done daily, can quietly improve your blood flow, support your prostate, and strengthen your natural function in ways most men never expect. Right before bed, your body is preparing to shift into recovery mode. This is when your nervous system slows down, your blood vessels begin to relax, and your hormones prepare for overnight repair. But if you go straight from stress to bed, your body never fully transitions. That's where this habit comes in. Take 5 minutes. That's it. Gently stretch your hips, your lower back, your legs, then focus on your pelvic floor. These are the muscles that help trap blood during an erection. Tighten them slowly, like you're stopping urination. Hold for a few seconds, then release. Repeat this several times. What you're doing is improving circulation in that entire region. You're helping blood move in and stay there when it matters. I had a patient, Edward, 72. He told me, "Doc, I thought my body was just done." He had stopped trying, avoided intimacy, felt disconnected from his wife. But when he started this simple nightly routine, combined with better sleep and proper support, something changed. Not overnight, but gradually. One night he told me, "I didn't have to think about it. It just happened." And for him, that moment meant everything. Here's what I want you to understand. Your body responds to signals, consistent signals. When you create a simple routine like this, you're telling your system, it's time to recover, it's time to function again. And over time, your body listens. So start tonight. 5 minutes, no pressure, no expectations, just consistency. Because this is not about forcing results. It's about rebuilding connection with your own body. And once that connection returns, everything feels different. Your energy, your confidence, your sense of self. And that's exactly what I want to talk about as we close. Because this isn't just about performance, it's about reclaiming something much deeper. 8. Conclusion: reclaiming what you thought was lost. Your body is not failing, it's signaling. After 60, everything becomes more fragile: sleep, blood flow, hormones, but also more responsive when you support it correctly. What you ignore today becomes your reality in the next 1 to 5 years: weaker energy, lost confidence, and deeper disconnection. But what you correct today can restore strength, intimacy, and control. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about understanding your body, adjusting your habits, and protecting what still belongs to you. Start now, because the difference between decline and vitality is the action you take today.